Welcome back to another episode of the RADelaide Summit podcast. On this week's episode, we have the Suburban Yahoo and Sergeant Weenus joining us. We cover the last couple of weeks of shenanigans, obviously because we're on an RDO. Yeah, it was delicious. Including the satanic red waterfall of doom and how it affects the leaders of elite sports. That is a mouthful, Jesus Christ.
You don't want a mouthful.
No.
Oh my God!
You don't want the
So
Some people might be into that, Alex. We don't kink shame on the podcast.
Yeah, we can't kink shame. You know? What did I said to a person in a meeting the other day? You do you, mate. You do you. That's fine. Frankie is riding and flying again. That's great. At the same time, yeah, I hope so. Crit season coming to an end. And more. Come along for the ride.
Now, if you're new to the podcast and haven't listened before, each week we scour the Strava leaderboards, watching you do your efforts up Norton Summit and discuss them here on the podcast, whether you like it or not. There's a chance we might shame you, but we'll promise not to name you personally.
Wang.
And the odds are high that we'll probably shame ourselves because we're not as fast as you. Definitely not this week. And at the end of the day, our goal is to encourage and celebrate everyone going up Adelaide's best hill climb, Norton Summit, and reaching their own goals. So with that, let's introduce ourselves. We are your Summiteers. Kashi.
Ciao, ciao.
Alex.
Hello.
Frankie.
Hi.
And our special guests, Suburban Yahoo
Hey.
and Sergeant Weenus.
Hello.
And of course, I'm the Wang. A big welcome to the potty hosts and the special guest for this week's episode.
Yeah, so welcome everyone, welcome listeners. A big episode this week, but as I said earlier, only a short period of time.
Oh
so let's
my
get right
God.
into it. What's been happening, Frankie?
Oh man. Well, my Olympic Dam swing is going to be coming to a close, so I'm only going to be away for another couple of weeks, and then I'm back home on a more permanent basis.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Wow. I've been keeping up with my exercise, and I had a pretty big weekend this week, actually. I've been trying to get back into all my hobbies. So yesterday I did park run, and then I went gliding, and then I went for a bike ride all in one day. So something's wrong with me.
What was your park run time, Frankie?
27 minutes.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, not bad, not bad.
You need balance. You can't throw all the eggs at the wall at the same time.
I feel like I've taken a shot of feminine. What's the one? Like ice, but not ice. No. The other one.
I mean, Olympic Dam does that too.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah, they're all on it. Maybe it's testosterone. I don't know. But I've just got another shot of life.
I heard you took some weight off of your bike today as well.
Oh, don't. No. I went up Waterfall Gully and a car scared me. And then so I fell off my bike. And then my chain came off the little ring on the bike, and it went onto the frame, and because I tried to pedal out of it on the floor, it dug it even further into the frame, and now I've got a massive gouge. Like, if bikes could have degree burns, this was like a 5th degree burn.
And it's always the first one that hurts the worst.
I have been Googling like carbon repair. I can't. It hurts me, and I don't know what to do. Like, I just want to spend money to fix it.
Mrs. Savello.
Just leave it. It's behind the chain ring. She can't see it.
Yeah, I know, but I know it's there.
You'll
It's
forget.
like...
It's not structural. It's
Well,
okay.
I don't know. It looks really deep.
Just the way you like it.
Yes! Yes, I do! And I'm not afraid to admit it. Wang, it's the most you'll ever do. But yeah, that's me.
What about
Cashy's
a ton
last
of
weekend?
tomatoes?
Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry, I didn't see this on the run sheet. I put it in, but forgot to go. So I was in Olympic Dam, obviously, so I couldn't
Assist with a yearly tradition.
with the ethnicity of my family. But every year, as people probably know, family and friends, ethnic people love to make tomato sauce. Anyway,
It's a sight to be seen.
It
It's
is.
amazing.
It is. My boyfriend actually did my
No one can
filled
see you
in.
pointing on the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Audio
AKA
man.
our sound engineer.
He wears the Dolmio grin.
Yes. So
Nice little segue.
There's a few levels to that.
you know what, Alex? I hate you.
Keep talking.
Yeah, they processed. So I put 1,000 kilos of tomato sauce, but it was actually 1.4 tons
Of tomatoes.
tomatoes that they squished and put into bottles, which we do every year, and we go through about 400 bottles a year easily. Like if you were to take a sample of my blood, it'd be like 60% blood
Pasta.
and then like a 40% tomato sauce and then maybe like 0.0% like Joy for Life.
The recipe.
It's a good recipe. I'll give it to you. It's a family hand-me-down.
Scientifically known as hemoglobin.
But yeah, that's it. You do tomato sauce stuff, don't you, Kashi?
I have done it in the past. Yes, done that. Done the sausage as well. Done the pig and the sausages. That's pretty. It's pretty good actually. Like probably not this day and age, but like using everything. Like I remember kids fighting over like pigs' ears and stuff. Like people find that sounds pretty heinous, but like they use everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, once you have it on the regular, like, I can't eat tomato sauce from the shops.
No,
just
you
because
homemade passata.
Because it tastes like sugar.
Like a sheet.
Yeah,
It
exactly. It does. Taste like a shit. What the fuck? I got my tomatoes. You want to see my zucchini, bro?
I don't want to see a zucchini.
I do not want to see your zucchini.
Okay, anyway, that's all for me. Kashi, please tell us what's happening.
What have I done this week? I did. Pardon me. Wednesday we raced a crit. That was actually quite fun. You got up the road actually.
I did for once. There was no way I was not going up the road that night. So I made sure I was there. Tuesday night, you bought me pizza.
I did. I had dad duties Tuesday.
I saw the plate that you bought it on. My God, I thought I was in my grandma's house.
Yes, I had. It's actually not even my plate either. It's my daughter's mother's plate.
Oh, cute.
Yes, that's good. So what else did we do? Wednesday rode a crit. That was a lot of fun. Thursday went swimming, worked. Some long hours at work. I actually got rimmed this week, actually.
I'm sorry. I thought you said you got rimmed.
It's
Friday night.
I legitimately did. I got tattooed on Friday.
Where? Around?
Oh, I actually got my butt done too.
Actual?
Yeah, actual.
Oh, can I see?
It hurt like a sheet. And then went to see Bon Iver on Friday night, and that was
Very nice.
delicious.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, one of the only bands I wanted to see, like out of
Why?
because he's amazing.
But why is he amazing?
Oh, because he just does things on the fly. Like there's stuff that he will do live that he won't do on a record, and it's layered and it's
You just like surprises.
stick a fork in me. It was
Oh,
great.
Okay.
I'm done.
But apart from that, and then what did we do this? And then just chilled, dad duties and some gym sessions at home, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Wang, sorry mate.
Thank you. Pretty standard week for me.
You got a haircut by the looks of
I
it.
did have a haircut last night.
You lowered?
Home job.
Yeah, I can see there's a couple of missed spots. What's going on there?
You can
You
fix it
wax
up
the
a bit
front?
later. No, there's just no hair there. Become unemployed this week, so I'm a full-time pro at the moment.
What?
You're
What do
a
you mean you
corner
become
marshal.
unemployed?
Full-time pro.
What happened?
Handed in my notice before I was fired.
Wait. Oh my God. What's going to
So-
happen to my pre-approval then?
Choose
went
another
with him.
bank. Don't go to that one. So I'm a full-time pro at the moment. Maybe even might start an OnlyFans to fund my bikes.
I would not.
The only problem is Alex is my only fan.
And I'm not even.
No, thank you.
No, pretty big week on the bike as well. Did 24 hours this week, 800k, so nice ride today. Tuesday night, I volunteered my services to the NCC club. That was paid services.
Yeah,
so
this is bullshit. NCC, if you're listening.
it's actually more than winning A grade, so I was happy with that. Wednesday night, vet racing, got in the winning break for once, and then got the real chamois up for the win with a nice last lap lead out for him. And that's about it. But anyone out there got any jobs going, just let me know. just write into the podcast. Alex, what about you?
Yeah, me. So 2 nights of racing this week, obviously. Tuesday night, first full A grade race, finally.
And you did well, I must admit.
Yeah, I was actually pretty comfortable. I was pretty happy. Second, well, Wednesday night struggled with cramps in the break with
But that was-
Crashy. I was trying to back it up. I know. I was like, oh,
That
I'm
was
trying so
karma
hard.
for giving me the bird.
Yeah. So
halfway
I was
through the
taking
race.
off and I took off and Spartan was like, I'm not going to let you up the road. So I've just got my finger behind me, just like chasing. But yeah, ended up with like 17 and a half hours for the week.
Big week.
Yeah. So
None of it's on Strava, though.
none of it's on
You
show.
fuck.
I don't care. Went out for a few sherbets though on Friday night with a mate. Came home rather drunk to a very empty house. Dogs are out. Feeling a little bit sad.
Just went out themselves.
Yeah. And then I got a message from a fellow podcast host.
Wasn't me.
Not wearing any clothes. Which
Wait,
kind of
was this 'cause of the
brought
rimming,
mood-
or-
Sorry? It was about the rimming. Made
Wasn't
my
trial
night a
running the
little bit better.
OnlyFans?
Yeah, it wasn't me. Maybe I can use your pictures for my OnlyFans.
That's called catfishing.
It's called identity theft, mate.
Okay, your halves.
So yeah, that was a good week. Good week. So, but what about you, Sergeant Aquinas?
Thank you very much. Yeah, chill week this week, actually. I'm studying a Masters of Physio at the moment, so normally it's quite hectic, but there's only 5 clinic blocks and there's 6 clinics, so I've got the month off, basically.
Lovely.
So I'm just soaking up the sunshine that I missed from summer, unfortunately.
What's
Getting in
left
some
of it?
pro
Yeah.
hours with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm teaching him how to wake up at 9 and ride at 10, and it's been quite good.
I actually hate it. It
You
crushes
just
my
want to
soul.
get it done. Like,
Yeah, I
early,
just want to get up and do
Get it
it.
over and done with.
yeah.
Grind. I like sunrises too. But yeah, a bit of riding. I think I've done like 13 hours this week, maybe 15.
Solid.
Did a little bit of study as well, bit of revision.
We've got a smart bike rider.
Trialing out my new IKEA backpack. It's actually sick. It was really, really cheap, and it like folds out in a nice layout, and I can just put all my stuff in it and not worry. I always struggled with backpacks. Don't know why. And then yeah, this morning actually had a funny one. We were riding down Kenzie Road. We were meeting someone at 9 on the west side of town. And we're like running late, and Soph's like, "You got to go! Like we got to
I
send
gave him a
it."
bit of an earful, eh?
And so we're hauling it down Kenzie Road.
I think Griff decided that he'd make up for some lost tempos earlier in the week down Kensington Road instead.
And we're coming up to a green light across Osmond Terrace, and then this bloke saw us,
Looked at us.
deliberately ran the red, on a bike this is, saw us coming, still ran the red. And I'm like, you going to move, bro? And then
Let's just say I'm glad we both
we were
had disc
hauling.
brakes.
And then,
Yeah.
and then we go past him, and we just missed him. And Soph went apeshit at him. It was hilarious.
Well done, Soph.
I've never seen this level of aggression.
I love it.
I was saying, I think riding with your partner is kind of like a bit of like a maths pressure cooker. Hey, you see the best, the worst of them. Yeah, it's a wild ride, but
Griff's
yeah. Oh well,
Good.
that's it.
Love a bit of road
Yeah.
rage.
And this week for me, I had my cousin's wedding last weekend, so kind of been spending the first couple of days this week just recovering from said wedding. Packing for Brisbane, I'm heading off tomorrow morning to fly across with the South Australian team and race track nerds, Oshis, road Oshis, Tour de Brisbane. It's a hectic 3 weeks, but
Big block.
yeah.
You racing road issues as well? Or?
Yeah, you
Yep.
bet. Doing the whole works.
Whole lot.
May as well, hey, while you're up there.
Yeah.
What else? Kind of just catching up with some friends. After Brisbane, I'm off to Europe. I've got a short break in Adelaide before I head off to Europe. So I've been kind of trying to get everything done before I go. It's kind of like getting a full car check of my entire body, eye test, teeth, the whole lot.
Wait, why do you need your teeth to ride a bike?
Make sure they're
Good
aero.
question. Yeah. Look, I had an eye test and got a glasses prescription for the first time as well. Now I'm feeling properly old. I know, right?
Have you seen Frankie?
Yeah, apart from that, couple of road rides with Griff, a couple of gym sessions, and 2 track sessions as well this week. So
Nice. I like it.
it's good.
Sounds good.
All right, well, guess what? It's time for question time. So you guys are quite the power couple in the cycling community, I would say. So
Thought Alex
Thank-
and I were.
no.
I try
So
not to hang out with you.
I reckon we're going to start by just asking you a couple of questions. Well, not, probably more than a couple, but I think the first one to get the listeners on board with who you are, please just tell us a little bit about yourselves. So,
Okay.
Sergeant Weenus.
So yeah, my name's Griff.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
But here it's Sergeant Weenus.
Weenus. Yes.
I'm not a man of culture, as you can tell. I guess I'm a cyclist.
42 years old.
Ride, yeah, 23.
Jesus.
And yeah, ride mountain bikes,
Some that
gravel bikes, any bike really, as well as been studying physiotherapy, which is fun, and also enjoy being creative and just getting outside. Yeah, that's a bit about me.
Very nice. And Suburban Yahoo, how about you?
Hello, I am also 23. I am probably best known for my track cycling. I'm a track cyclist, been in the Oz program for a couple of years now, but I also love to do all kinds of things, bikes. I love getting out on the mountain bike, the road bike, and love a bit of exploring and bike packing and that kind of thing with Suburban. No, what's his name? Hey,
Weenus.
That was my name.
You can talk about yourself in fourth person. It's fine.
So yeah, no.
Yeah, very nice. So obviously Sergeant Weenus and Suburban Yahoo, your nicknames. What do you think about them? Do you like?
I'll be honest, I like it. I got to try it not to overthink it. I think there's a
See
part
your
of me
mind
that-
racing. You're like,
yeah.
you don't. I don't think you understand where Frankie.
Well, I'm trying to deanalyze this.
Don't go there. Don't.
All right, we're picking apart the sergeant. Like, is that like that? There's respect. Like, this is like
Authority.
there's an authoritarian like kind of vibe to
So
this.
when you go home, it's Sergeant.
yeah, like,
Daddy Griff. I'm so sorry. That's the kink.
Cashy just put his back out
Yeah.
laughing.
Steve, my
Quick,
back.
Chris. It's back.
Show us your weenus. Anyway, go. No, not you. I saw that.
But yeah, I think that encapsulates what I think about my nickname.
What about you?
I'm just confused, Frankie. Tell me more. Where did you get this from?
It was just the universe gifted to me this name very early on. I remember you went up, and I wanted to give you a respectable nickname because it was so early on. I was a bit reckless with nicknames. Obviously, Colossal
Still
Wang.
are.
I probably am, but I didn't want to cause offence.
You're like, so where's Norton Summit? Suburbia. Suburban.
So I don't know.
opposite Google Yahoo. Yeah, that's
It's
what
just
that'll
I
work.
thought it was like a good name for you.
It's a very vanilla name, though, Frankie.
Something more kinky.
Maybe
don't
I'll
have to
have to
set
go
a
and get a
PR
PB.
site.
Yeah.
When you get a
Change it
PB,
to-
you can
Oh,
do
I
it.
have no idea. I actually don't know. Maybe I'll think about that while I ride up. Might get my PB. I'm going to need some friends, though. A bit of a motor pace. I reckon I tried to... Well, the
Wang's
last
good
time
at
I got
motor
mine, Griff... I think it was for that Strava segment challenge that happened during COVID. And Norton
yeah.
Summit was one of the segments.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to win that. So I got revved up Griff. I was like, yeah, come on. Can you like pull me halfway up or something? Like, let's sort this out. I need to win
Griff's
this.
like, I'd rather you pull me halfway up.
Anyway, we went so fast up McGill Road. I was already chuffed by the time we turned onto Norton Summit Road. And then Griff flicked his elbow and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, oh, yeah. Is that it? So, yeah.
That's all you've got.
Had to do the rest on my own. So I think if I get a bit more help, hopefully we'll get it. We'll see.
Sounds good.
And then I'll have to think about what name suits.
Very nice.
So how did you guys actually get into cycling now that you've explained what genres or disciplines you do?
That's a good question, actually.
That's why I asked it.
My dad. My dad got me into it very young. Used to be like a fun like camping activity to go riding around, and then very early on in the piece, actually. I did track when I was like 7, I think.
Still
7 or
haven't
8.
seen him on a track bike though.
But yeah, I actually haven't touched it
crazy.
since. Yeah, really, really young.
Good work,
And then I
Colonel
left
Winners.
track probably after only 2 years, and then did mountain bikes and at that time I was still riding mountain bikes anyway. But then they allowed me to race, and they actually opened up the junior racing. So there wasn't really any juniors, at least under the age of 10, racing mountain bikes at the time. And then, I started racing mountain bikes and have been doing so ever since. I also started racing cyclocross when I was...
Yes, because you're a very small human then.
I think...
You still are a very small
14?
human.
Maybe? Yeah.
With the Adelaide Mountain Bike Cookie Club jersey on.
Yeah, and I used to ride with my elbows out quite aggressively and do skids on the CX track. That was fun.
Look, until his car died last week, it still had one of those stickers on it.
Amazing.
F the car.
Rep Adelaide Mountain Bike Club. Shout out. The OG. Been involved in the AMBC for a long time. So, big shout out on the committee doing their social media and their juniors stuff as well. So
That's a lot of different kind of cycling things that you do. Do you have a preference? Do you prefer mountain biking, cyclocrossing, riding? What's the other ones? Roading.
road, gravel, grovel. E-biking now's a thing as well.
It's
My
what?
goodness. I actually really enjoy gravel at the moment. I always have. I've really struggled to ride on the road actually. I had my dad, as a very young child, he also had some incidents with some cars. So, I find it actually quite stressful to go on the road and really peace out and just ride. That's why I'm drawn to the dirt, is because I can just be in nature and just settle my body and my mind. And so I ride the gravel a lot and I enjoy that. And in terms of the racing, I don't know if I can say I've found a preference. I just enjoy it all. I love going hard and having fun. Yeah.
Basically, anywhere that Colossal Wang isn't, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, you ain't sent me on the gravel. The bike will get dirty.
And how about you, Suburban? Are you?
Yeah, well, actually, my story of getting into cycling is very similar than the guy you had on 2 weeks ago. I was actually in the same talent ID group as, I don't know his nickname.
Epson Bar the third.
Epstein Barr
Yeah,
the
so I
third.
was
Yes,
in the
Mr.
same talent search group the same year, picked up through that.
And you both won the Warnie this year.
I know, crazy,
That's
hey?
weird shit.
Yeah.
Synchrony. It's the universe. Tristan was talking about manifesting. So
It's almost like you're synced up.
Oh, dear.
Get out, Frankie.
Yourself out, Frankie.
So I started through the Sassy Talent Search program. Would never have gotten into cycling otherwise. I was a hockey player, played water polo as well for the state.
Grass hockey?
Yeah, grass,
yeah.
like field hockey, yeah. And then, that kind of opened the doors for cycling, really, for me. Gave me some pretty cool track opportunities. And then from that, I've been able to go and do all types of cycling as well.
Yeah. Again, do you have any preference?
I actually do a lot of my training when I have freedom on dirt. I really enjoy training out there because, like Griff, I'm pretty nervous around cars. However, though, I have an even greater phobia of the geese on Waterfall Gully Road. At the bottom of the winter track, and I'm currently avoiding winter track for that very reason. So,
Winter track's so fun.
yeah. So
There was no geese up
look,
there this morning.
Geese are an icon up there, though.
Man, when they
just
hiss
own
at
the
you,
road.
Touch wood, I've never ever seen them.
Really? Yeah,
there used to be 2 of them, and I just saw a photo this year,
there's
and I
like
think there's
7.
there's 7. That's
7 or 8.
fucked. Oh,
I swear someone kills them off every year and then they come back.
They reproduce.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Quite feisty though. If you get close to them, they'll
Yeah, I
chase
would
you.
not-
Yeah,
I would
and
not.
they hiss at you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's scary.
I already have like a proper bird phobia as it is, so those geese just tip me over the edge. Anyway, that what we saying?
Disciplines. You were talking about disciplines. Anyway.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I enjoy it all. Like doing everything. Like racing it all too.
Yep. I like that. I could have said a joke then, but I won't. What about like role models or heroes or anything like that? Can be cycling, can be not cycling, but
Superman, Batman.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think actually one of my earliest role models
Wang.
I look up to was Peter Mullins, just because of her versatility, like her ability to perform on the track, on the road, on the mountain bike, CX, like
All-terrain
whatever.
vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm
100%.
someone that like thrives in balance. Like I love being able to go and do a bit of everything. And I think that balance is kind of like what has helped me perform specifically in some disciplines as well. But I also have looked up to like the likes of Ashton Kudinoff, Nettie Edmondson, a lot of the girls that were in the track program before me and have kind of helped it become, you know, a better place for us in the program now, which is pretty cool.
Nice. Very well said.
Yeah. My role model would be Chris Jongward, actually. Blood.
J Blood.
Yeah. I think I used to watch him when I was very young, like, again, when I was like 5, 6, up at Eagle on the Hill and watching him just tear it up. Yeah.
He would have been dominating back then.
And it was very impressive to watch. And we went over to Canberra to watch the Worlds when I think he top 10'd the XCO Worlds there, the cross country Worlds. And he actually, at the time that I was going through, was getting a bit more into his coaching and was able to share that knowledge with me. And yeah, it was just amazing role model and super knowledgeable. And even now I get the pleasure to race against him, which I think is, it's actually amazing. Like he trains and then he's so mentally tough. Like
Is he what?
I respect that. Yeah, so much. Like mountain biking is so much about how much you can hurt, and he just goes so next level.
Oh, he knows how to hurt himself. Don't worry about that. Now, greatest achievement for you both can be on the bike, off the bike, both.
Ooh, hard one. I gotta say on the bike, maybe some like national top 10s here and there for mountain bikes have been pretty good. Like last year, in XCO Nationals, that was pretty good. A nice little Otways, actually, the gravel event there got second, so that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Otherwise, probably the big one is I got third in U23s for cross a few years ago, so that was pretty cool. But I guess they don't stack up much compared to Soph's, unfortunately, but she can share hers.
Well, thanks, Groove. I think it's hard to look past getting Com Games gold last year and the team shoot. That was super special moment, especially after like training with the girls for so long. I mean, especially Chloe and Maeve, we'd been through Sassy together, come out of the same kind of development program. So it was pretty cool to link up there on the world stage. And then also the Warnie win a month back was pretty special too. I think I haven't had. No, Frankie.
It's amazing. I have always looked up to Sophie ever since we've been friends. Shut up. You know, like she's like exceptional on the bike, but also like exceptional across all areas of life. You know, she like does full-time study. Is a very nice person, and then also can manage to like win gold, win the Warnie. Like, you know, how many people do you know that are such high achievers that, you know, exist?
You're too kind, Frankie.
I know, right? This is called ego.
I look up to you too.
Let's take this offline.
Griff's got some
Before Frankie
competition.
dives in there, how did you two meet?
Actually, this is kind of a funny story. Well, maybe not funny now, but it was.
This is going to go 2 ways.
No, back in the glory days at the Rafa pop-up at Tour Down Under, we were both on the tools racking other people's bikes and cleaning them as well for nowhere near enough money. But yes, that was how we first were introduced. And then as much as people think we like got to know each other through bikes, that wasn't the case at all. We met then, and then a month later we were starting uni because we finished school at the same time, and we coincidentally were doing the exact same university degree.
Oh, jeez.
So
It's fate.
yeah, it was funny, meeting there and then like kind of getting to know each other through uni, even though we have gone our different ways, and Griff and I did different majors in the end, but Yeah.
Yeah.
Majors?
We
What's a
both
major?
hold a Bachelor in Health
road
and Medical
rather than
Science
hills.
Oh, yeah.
advanced. I'd hold a major in neuro, and Sophie has a major in medical science.
Nice.
Big nerd energy.
Yeah.
Medical science.
Big brain
There you
energy,
go.
To
literally.
be honest, though,
I
it was
finished
good.
year 11.
Yeah.
And you do good English too.
And that's why,
So I do.
that's why you're bold.
That's why I'm unemployed. Now, back on the bikes. What bikes do you both currently ride?
I'm on a Factor Ostrovan at the moment. I love it. Have been this is my second year on them. And I say to everyone I talk to about it, like, I would go and buy this bike. I'm sponsored, but I would go and buy it because clears heaps of tires. The bars are so comfy. Like, it's elite. I'm stoked.
They're nice looking bikes.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Finally
I'm
not
very
a
lucky.
Cervelo.
Yeah. And then,
Sorry, Moff Diver.
I started on S5. That S5 is still sitting in my garage ready for me to bling it up one day, but yeah.
Well, if you want, I can take it up Waterfall Gully and I'll get a nice gouge into it.
pretty sure that one already has a gouge in the same
don't
spot,
say
probably.
that.
I've seen so many of those.
Yeah, it happens a lot for some
Yeah,
reason. On my
it does.
bro's bike too.
Yeah.
Like, his
Yeah.
bottom bracket's barely holding together. What about you?
Yeah, I'm currently on a Cervelo R5 CX, which is a newer model. It's basically the cyclocross bike that Cervelo designed for Wout van Aert and Marianne Vos over in Europe. But yeah, I actually love it. It's an amazing bike. It's basically the R5, the road bike, just with wider forks and rear stays. So it clears a huge amount of tyre. And yeah, the same geometry. So it's super zippy, really fast on the dirt, really planted as well. And then basically can be a road bike as well. So I actually raced the crits on it with some slicks in there. And it's, yeah, unreal.
It's
And
yet
then-
to win a Vicky Park crit though.
Yeah, yet to do that.
What size slicks did you put on it?
I actually have 35 mil slicks on it at the moment.
Sorry, what's a slick for those who are uneducated?
Like a road tyre.
You mean
Huh?
you mean you uneducated?
There might be other people who are listening, okay? I'm just answering the questions for the people. Wait, so it's a tyre width?
Without the knobbly bits.
What's the
So
knob?
like
Like your tyre is a
You'd
slick.
classify like a road
Road
tyre,
tyre,
like
slick.
as a slick, basically.
Oh, so ones that don't have like crevices.
yeah,
Yes.
that, yeah,
Okay, good to know.
yeah.
The crevice
I
is a
ask 'cause
field.
I'm currently running 32s like
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah, I run 30s.
yeah. I find the 35s like it makes you realize how average our roads are. Like you just in a straight line, you have so much like cushion from them, and it makes it so comfortable.
I think comfort is fast.
Comfort is
You can
fast,
stick your 110 psi.
but it's a little
Who
bit
runs
sketchy in
110
the
PS?
corners with the high volume.
Frankie does.
I like it hard.
Like a heart. Knew that was
I was wondering where that was going. I'm like, bro, I've been on 80 PSI for like 4 years.
No, I don't do 110 anymore. I do 80 under Alex's instructions.
You should be less than that because you're 5 kilos.
Yeah, true.
Huh?
What?
But you're right. Comfort
It's
does
alright.
make you go faster.
Frankie and Sophie can be friends because they do the same tire pressures.
So if he's used to the track PSI.
Yeah.
3,000.
But yeah, no. Otherwise, I've got my mountain bike as well, Focus 01E, which is a nice little dual suspension
Dually.
cross country bike. So yeah, I love it.
You kind of answered the other one.
Yeah.
You guys are all-terrain vehicles, both of yous. You like doing everything. It's good. I like
Yeah.
it.
Track every now and then.
Jesus.
This is a family show.
I do.
To relax the body and mind, you sick
I
fuck.
do have a question for Mr. Huinas. So you did have actually a pretty bad accident recently. So what happened? And tell us about it. What happened? If that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Because I can see you've got a bit of your weenus off.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you're like, gagging for that one.
I was waiting. I saw him walk in and I was like,
Bar
I'm ready.
mitzvah.
He puts a little thing in the chop and the chop, yes.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
The weenus is being held together by medical tape at the moment.
Not KY.
But yeah, no, had a racing incident at a Club XEO race a few months ago now, actually. And yeah, I hit the ground at Eagle Mountain Bike Park, which is pretty rocky, and it took a big chunk out of my elbow. And I had to have a plastic surgery to kind of get it, first of all, cleaned out because it was full of dirt. And then second of all, they basically grabbed all the skin, like, because your elbow skin is kind of loose. So they grabbed it all and then basically bunched it up and sewed it back together. So I couldn't move my elbow for
my
like
God.
2 weeks.
You were just like,
Yeah, I was
Skip arm
straight
Jim.
arm.
yeah. You were Sergeant Wieners. Get a little snort there, Mr. Audio Man. Now, how long was the recovery?
It's ongoing
going.
still, yeah.
Shit.
I hit the ground pretty hard as well with my shoulder, and that's kind of once my elbow healed up a little bit and I could move it more, I started to realise what had happened in my shoulder. So getting physio for that as well. So
Okay.
we'll see. There's no end point with these things sometimes. So yeah, it's just an ongoing rehab, unfortunately.
Do you
But,
physio yourself?
at the moment, because I'm a student,
Yeah.
I outsource some of it. Yeah.
Man.
But it's definitely helpful sometimes as a physio to have an injury to understand what other people go through. And shoulders is actually one of the ones I've never really had in my life before.
Yeah, okay.
So there we go. It's kind of like a bad learning exercise.
Please don't keep trying all the injuries. Though.
Do not manifest that, please.
Can you
Do
imagine,
not.
right? If you actually go
Cancel.
to uni and they're like, all right, we're going to break your bones today. And then you're going to really see what it's like.
That wouldn't pass ethics.
Shit. Speaking of uni, when you how do you go about managing your workload? Well, both of yous first.
I am not a uni student anymore. I'm on a break right now, which has been quite
Career break?
nice.
Is it? What do they call it? No, that's for work. But what are they? You
Gap
deferred?
year?
Gap
I'm one of
year,
those. I'm on a career break.
Midlife crisis.
Gap year? Is that
Maybe,
what you said?
maybe.
Gap?
But I'm quite enjoying being a full-time cyclist. It's quite a nice life.
I know. So am I. Work gets in the way.
What about you, Sergeant? What do you got?
At the moment, I don't manage it very well because obviously recovery. But normally, yes, it depends. It actually depends on what degree you do, to be
100%.
honest.
Yeah.
In my undergraduate, I found it pretty easy to
Manageable.
manage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the same goes for Soph. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess with track, you have to be in a place at a time. So it was a little bit more difficult for you. Is that fair
But
to say?
also, did Adelaide Uni grant you any like leeway to be able to like do less subjects
No, they wouldn't. Would
You
they?
don't get to do less of anything. Like you still have to do all the same legwork as everyone else. But we definitely got a lot of support while we were there from
Yeah.
Adelaide Uni Sport.
A lot of the
which is great.
times they gave support and they offered to take subjects off, but I always just soldiered on and tried to like get through the deadlines as they'd programmed in the courses, just because it messes with things too much. Like I'd rather just commit to, say, if I'm going to do 4 or 3 subjects, I'll just commit to it. And as the deadlines are, and then if I need to take a subject here or there. But yeah, managed the undergrad well. The postgraduate, however, has been a massive task. Almost at uni 9 to 5 every day. So pretty,
It's like work.
yeah, pretty much.
But
It's
you're
like
not
reverse
paid.
work. Pay money and have to be somewhere all the time.
No.
But yeah, no. So a little bit less of the riding, but actually still managed to just maintain some fitness, and I just get out to enjoy myself, like I
100%.
mentioned before.
Amen to that.
Nice. Very nice.
Miss Frankie.
Very nice. Well, everyone, because we have Sophie here, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk about something that isn't really spoken about on a public platform. So I'm pretty certain that what we're going to talk about affects most women that are training to be elite athletes, or maybe they don't. Who knows? Big disclaimer, I am just talking from opinion. So, anyway. So
Frankie's
I
not a
think it's
medical expert.
Yeah,
I'm not an
neither of us
expert.
are.
No, we're not experts. I also think it's an opportunity to shed some light
See what you did there.
on the additional challenges that elite female athletes
females
have
in
to,
general.
and females in general
be elite.
have to persevere through. And, I think it's going to be an informative episode maybe for some of our female listeners, but also
I think it'll be for the
possibly
males just as much.
enlightening episode for the male ones. So on that note, I don't know if you've guessed it already, but we're going to talk about periods. So
Stringing us along.
Good old shark
like a
week.
tampon. Anyway. So I want to start off with some basic facts. So I did do a little bit of research. Again, Dr. Google, so take it with a grain of salt. So as most of you here know, well, I hope you know, a standard menstrual cycle happens every 28 days, and it's the shedding of the internal lining of your uterus. So it lasts for about 4 to 7 days, and within the 28-day cycle, you're going to have a constant change of your hormone levels. So more specifically,
that we do know.
yeah,
That we know.
more specifically, it's the ratio between estrogen and proestrogen. Is that how you say it?
Progesterone.
Progesterone. I'm going to say that wrong. You would think I did a biotechnology degree, but I know, right? So with your menstrual cycle, you have 4 different phases. So you've got your menstruation phase, and that's what we like to call the satanic waterfall of doom. Then you have your...
There's
We
no
like to
geese
call
on
that.
those waterfalls.
Never heard that.
No.
Never.
It's just Frankie's.
It's just mine then. So then we have
Heard
our
of the Crimson
follicular phase. So that's when you get a massive spike in your, I think it's oestrogen, and that prepares you for ovulation. And then you get your ovulation, which is what I'm doing right now because
There we go.
that's why my skin looks so great.
You're literally glowing.
Look at me. And that's when an egg is released from one of your little ovaries. And then you've got the luteal phase, and that's when you get a rise in your progesterone. Yeah, and that's when
Everybody gets a rise as
your
well.
lining thickens, and that's when you get like PMS and all the fun things.
Why did
and
you
then,
look over at the audio bloke? Just to go like, that's okay.
You've got 1 week, and then the cycle starts again. So. I mean, just based off my Google research, women in elite sport can experience changes to this, and that's mostly due to the stress that their bodies are exposed to, and that can result in some abnormalities sometimes, not all the time. That's why we have Sophie here to talk about it. So, you could get irregular periods, you can get an absence of your period for more than 3 months, or sometimes younger women, they don't actually get a period, and you should by the age of 15 apparently. Or you can get extremely painful periods like myself, not that I'm an elite athlete, but anyway, or very heavy flows. So as we've discussed previously on the podcast, hormones can have such an influence on someone's performance, I mean, there's an entire blacklisted big no-no subsection in sports where people are trying to dope to change their hormone ratios to have a better chance of winning. I'm not saying that, you can use periods as a way of doping, but surely it has to have some kind of influence on people's performance, whether for better or worse, we don't know. And I'm not in any shape or form an elite athlete like Sophie here, but I know from my own experience that my periods, basically affect how I'm able to show up for my amateur races, like the Super Series or just life in general. I have a normal cycle, but my first 2 days, I'm in so much pain that I can't speak or move, let alone exercise for 24 hours. So, if I'm riding and I get my period, I have to just go straight home. And so I can only imagine, just like the wang. And I can, I can only imagine.
Bit of Napagesiac.
I did see this thing on the internet. It was actually popping up. You can it's like a belt. It's like a little thing. And
Yeah,
then,
electroshock.
massage and heat and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
I might give it a try because honestly, I get it so bad. But I can imagine if I wanted to start a race and I was like you, I was in a team and I had, I don't know, the Olympics or the Melbourne Tourney or something or any race of significance. If I got my period, I wouldn't be able to partake. So, on that note, Sophie, I have some questions for you. Do you have a normal cycle or has elite sport affected your period?
Yeah, well, I thankfully at the moment do have a relatively normal cycle.
Yeah.
But there have definitely been times in the past where it has been a little bit more varied, whether
Yeah.
that's been due to the sport, but also I think it's well known that other stresses as well can also affect it too. So.
Yeah, yeah. And what changes do you notice leading up to that time? Like, is there a time during the cycle that you need to be more aware of and then modify your training to suit, or?
I think this is an area actually that is starting to grow. There's obviously not a lot of research on women in sport for starters, right?
Yeah.
And then looking into details of your period or how to time training and periodize your training to your period. Yeah. It's really not well understood at this point in time. As far as I'm aware, my training is not determined by what stage in the cycle I am at the moment. Even if that's something that we do, add to our today's plan or training peaks or whatever, to try and keep track of. It doesn't necessarily dictate our training. But look, I'd be really excited to see if there's more research in this area, and it becomes something that does determine, maybe
100%.
how your training is structured, because I think that it's a space where it could have great utility.
Because FTE would
Sorry, what's FTE?
like perceived effort, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be a massive thing. And that's, I guess, a question off the cuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
Being where you at in your cycle, that like your FTE would be a lot different.
Yeah, I think I'm not an expert. I don't really know, but I do remember seeing some research that different points in your cycle as well suit different types of training better.
Yeah.
And I think that, that's something that could be utilised more. I think a lot of people probably expect it to be something that happens within the AIS, something that would just naturally be a part of the training.
I
But
did 100%. I would have thought like logically you go, okay, cool. Maybe for the first couple of months, the team would do blood work, like pre-post some sort of important stages in your cycle, and then go, oh, what can we learn from that?
yeah, well, it's not really done at the moment.
Maybe it should.
Yeah, look, maybe it should be done. I think we get blood work and stuff done to make sure that our hormones are all at normal levels. That's a really important part of our monitoring, and we get bloods done maybe 3 or 4 times a year just to kind of keep track of those types of important measures. But it's not something that necessarily dictates our training, unless maybe there are days sometimes where I wake up and I'm really not feeling well from cramps or something.
Yeah.
And definitely we then will have a chat with our coaches and say, look, I can't do this session today. Can we make it a bit easier? Or at least that's a space where there can be a bit of flexibility and change. But it's the same as if you woke up feeling sick, right? You wouldn't go and do chop if you woke up with a head cold, right? Well, most people wouldn't.
Would.
But yeah, I definitely wouldn't. Yeah.
Yesterday.
I slept in
You
yesterday.
slept in yesterday, you sick.
I've got a
At
streak.
least I
I've
had
got
a
to keep
reason.
going.
So even though it's not in your training plan, you wouldn't say that you actively manage it then, or you do?
I think it's something that I've slowly learnt. It's really important to be more aware of. I keep track of it for sure. I think I purchased a. Can I discuss brands on here?
Yes, go
I
for it.
purchased a wearable fitness tracker device. It's a ring. It's one that a lot of people also use.
Oh, yeah. They could be a sponsor of the podcast if they
If you're listening.
Yeah,
What type of ring is it?
it's an Oura ring.
Oura
Yeah.
Griffin, get on it.
Lance, hook a brother up.
Yeah.
The goat.
I bought it full price because we're not sponsored. We don't get provided them or anything. But I think the information that I've had from it can be really useful. I don't know. A lot of the guys use them too, and I think most of the
I
use
think Whoop do a similar as well.
Yeah. You can look at it for your recovery and sleep and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But for the females too, it also takes a daily temperature measurement. And now it's not something you could use clinically, but I think it's really cool to see the changes in temperature throughout the whole cycle, which if you're in a healthy place, most of the time, at least for myself, I then am able to see a really clear temperature wave, I guess, temperature variation throughout the month. And so it's
Yeah,
a cool piece of information to have. But this is, disclaimer, this is not medical advice or anything. It's just something that I have noticed, and I think it's an interesting way to kind of keep track of it myself.
Yeah, well, data's king. Like I have a Fitbit, and even just being able to track sleep or anything like that, it helps you with your body battery to understand like what can I do today, like all that kind of stuff. And over time, having data, whether it's temperature, sleep, or whatever, was going to be really useful. So, maybe AIS should look into doing more things around periods. Who knows?
Really surprised at
Yeah.
that.
It's not even just the AIS too. It's also research getting funded to continue investigating training around the cycle, because as it stands, still most of scientific research into sport is all still done on men, young men. And the more research that continues to look at women and other more diverse groups, I think could also yield some pretty powerful results.
So how Wang would say, "Oi, you fucks that are doing the grants, just make it a bit more gender appropriate."
Yeah.
You fucks. Do you remember if you've been on your cycle during any major competitions, e.g. commies, worlds, anything like that?
I have actually not been on it for any of my big wins like Warnie or commies, and a lot of that is just purely by luck.
Okay.
I think it's something that and you've got strategies to deal with if it ends up at a major event. But yeah,
Okay.
it's grateful that it hasn't interrupted with any of my big events, but I'm sure that it will at some point, and I've got pretty good strategies in place. I think a lot of the women in our teams tend to,
Yep.
I remember this one time I was doing Echelon Cycling Studio with Alex, and it was a very hard session. This will go, you'll understand why I bring this up. Anyway, it was like 40 minutes in, and I was sweating so hard. Anyway, about to end, and I can feel like something dripping out of me, and I was like, "Oh shit, I've got my
wasn't
period."
shit.
But no, it was just sweat dripping down my ass. So anyway, on that note, so does racing with sanitary products hinder your performance? Do you find
it definitely shouldn't.
It shouldn't. You're right.
Have you seen him carry the bin around?
But yeah, look, I think when I was younger, I've definitely had to
refine,
go through quite a bit of trial and error to work out what does work and what doesn't work, and that's totally different for everyone else.
Yeah, individual specific, yep.
And that's probably something I'd say to younger girls in the sport too. Like also people new to the sport as well, hey, if it is hindering your performance or if you're really struggling with it, like that, you shouldn't have to deal with that. Like that's not okay. Go look at some resources. Like there's some wonderful resources online. In with the AAS, don't be afraid to talk to your doctor.
I was going to say, talk to your fellow
your fellow
ladies.
That's it. Talk to the other girls around. Like we're happy to chat. Like go talk to the maybe your role models as well, or your coach if you've got a female coach too that you're comfortable talking to, or a doctor as well if you need some advice, because there is information out there and you shouldn't have to go through that.
But just talking about female coach, how do you find that though when both your coaches are males?
I do have 2 male coaches,
Yep.
and my sports physiologist is also male.
So many penises. God.
You sound that in a bad way.
It's not in the context that I wanted.
Yeah,
Sausage fest.
There's definitely not a massive female representation within the Australian cycling team at the moment, staff-wise. But yeah, I think some of the male coaches have taken a bit to get used to the way the women run. I think Glenn was the women's track endurance coach. He's been in for a couple of years now. I think at the start he was a bit shocked. But yeah, no, it's the men that we work with now have really learnt that we are not small men. We are quite different, and they've really grown to the challenge. And I think they manage us all quite well. We're a tricky bunch, yeah. So
Good.
That is good to hear, actually. It really is.
Both their coaches are quality guys outside of the cycling track as well, so you'd expect that they'd be able to manage it well.
The AIS has some incredible resources for women on this topic. So it includes some stories across a multitude of different sports, so not just cycling, and their experiences, including Emily Petricola and how she manages her menstrual cycles and hormonal contraceptives in sport.
Actually, that's a big one.
That'd be, Dude, that's wild.
I have an IUD in, so TMI to listeners, but that really hurts. And I mean, maybe it shouldn't hurt still, but like the position that I'm on the bike, depending on when my cycle is due, I can be in a lot of pain. Like it's just like you're stabbing on the inside.
I was going to say, it's literally in there.
I know. It's in.
It is. I know this. I once had a patient actually in a surgical ward. Yeah, she had a prolapsed vagina.
Oh
so
my God.
I had to literally pack it back in.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
it was pretty wild. It was bless her cotton socks. She was lovely, the old lady. So yeah, it was pretty wild. But yes,
I don't think
anyway.
the AIS is going to provide information on how to do
Nursing
with that.
support.
No. That's wild. But my patient care was pretty great. Anyway, so there's female athlete resources for understanding your menstrual cycle as well. So they all cover other areas of health as well, such as breastfeeding and endometriosis as well, which is pretty like.
It's really,
Yeah. Endos. Yeah, it's a bit of a.
hurts.
Yeah. Also, there's some educational modules there for athletes that cover abnormalities around cycles and how to identify some problems and address pain and everything like that as well. So, it's all pretty cool. There's nutrition as well as bone health. There's body image, I should say. So it's all pretty cool. And then you get a little certificate in completion there as well. So if you wanted to head over there and do a bit of research as well, it's www.ais.gov.au/FPHI.
Very nice.
Amazing.
Look at that information. See,
Education.
we are a family episode.
I wouldn't quite go that far.
Censored.
We are rated explicit for a reason.
However,
So we've got some notable mentions this week. We have someone who's bought us some coffees. I'm not even going to
say it.
pronounce
You've got
this
to give him
name.
a shout out.
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous.
That's the one. Cyclist. Thank you very much. Bought us
bought
some
us coffee.
coffees to go to the
Thank
to
you.
the slush fund this week. So for me to spend.
No, just because you're unemployed. Anyway, so let's jump right into it. The main reason why we exist is to see who's been spinning up the summit this week and check out the times for the folks who've been giving us a show. Might be the fast guys, might be the slower ones. It's going to be everyone in between. But like we said, we're going to dive into their data for everyone's ride. If you show it, please. And if Frankie
Yes.
gets her shit together, we might even get a hand pick.
She's left.
First.
She might be on her
Now
cycle.
that she's just left you with the spreadsheet,
She's done a
Suburban Yahoo,
sheet.
you're taking us through the fastest man and woman for the week.
That's it. Hopefully, I can do this without Frankie's assistance.
It's all good.
So the fastest man of the week, we have Turkey Slapper.
Now, Turkey Slapper is his new name.
All right.
Yeah,
What was the original one?
that's a good question, Frankie.
She's not here.
That's
No,
all
I
right.
don't
Well,
remember.
anyway,
I only know his
nevertheless,
real name.
it was a very fast time, 11:59, 9% off his last PB, and just a low 445 watts.
Holy dooly!
This
That's
man is
huge.
moving.
Shame.
I messaged this young lad, Turkey Slapper, when I saw his ride yesterday. I was still mid-ride myself. And he's been trying so long to go sub 12.
That's unreal.
And there was 3 of them chopping off yesterday.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he did set a new 10-minute power PB with those watts.
You'd hope so.
He's coming into some form. So like Soph, he's heading away tomorrow as well to track Nats and Oceana. So hopefully he'll have some success over there.
What do you reckon his body weight is at the moment? About what, 80 kegs?
Yeah, he'll be about 80.
445 watts.
That's mental, eh? And he's young too.
Big
He's
lad.
not, he's
What?
well
Strong-
under
strong
23
lad.
still. Yeah.
So Turkey Slapper was originally Vincent Van Stop.
I thought that was a lame nickname. So I'm glad he changed that.
That 11:59 was part of a 135k day. Just
Not targeted.
Huge.
no, not targeted.
Definitely
Exactly.
not targeted.
What about the fastest woman for the week?
Yeah, so this one was part of a 59k ride. Mike Wazowski did a 17:07, so actually a bit slower than her PB,
Yeah.
but she was still moving nevertheless. 59k solid ride and 209 watts on her power meter. So
Before we move on, Suburban Yahoo, what's your PB up north summit?
I don't know off the top of my head. I think I'm in the 15s though. I'm not super quick. There's room for improvement. High 15s, I think. Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's just above the 13 mark.
wow.
I was going to say, you'd be in the
Nice.
13s.
But that was a long time ago. I haven't done
35s
one.
on there.
No, that was pre that. That was on a giant TCX, on an alloy TCX.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was room after that, I think, for a bit more speed now. The R5CX would be a bit quicker.
And you're taking us through the men.
I am. Okay. So, is it ascending? We do ascending order.
Just any from, top to bottom.
Okay, so we have in the fastest men's bracket,
the night?
Melodramatic
19?
fish dance interpreter.
Is that you?
Yes.
Can you just really quickly? Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
What was that?
Can you?
Was that on the drive down? You thought of that
No,
one?
no. This came to me while I was on Olympic Dam. I don't know why.
What did they do?
Oh, we actually have a tie for P1 this week. So I'll say that again. Melodramatic fish dance interpreter and anonymous domestique on a 19. Both on one on a 100k ride and one on a 55k ride, going a little bit slower than their PBs, but yeah, coming in fast there. And then we have, how do you pronounce that? Scrumptious.
What is that, Frankie?
What does that mean? It's a word I've
It's
never
like you know, scrumptious, but like light, like on fire. I
Okay.
don't know. I made that up.
Thanks, Dennis Denuto.
Anyway, what did they do?
Scrumptulescent gypsy princess.
There's more to it.
You give me the hard ones. You're layering on the complexity here.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, 1902 on a 50k ride. Yeah.
Any data on any watts or any heart rate on them?
That's a good question. So we've got the 136 BPM there. So cruising,
Easy cruising,
Z2.
That's what I have when I'm asleep.
Okay, and then we have Gooch Juice Galore.
That's a good one.
Thank
That's what
you.
Frankie had after altitude.
What?
Yeah, after your echelon.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, some good
Delicious. I could probably. Do you know what I could do?
Don't say it. Don't
I
go there.
I could put it in a jar and sell it.
Good. Wasn't there?
And then I can like basically give you money for being
Wasn't
unemployed.
there a chick on that was selling her farts in a
Bath
jar?
water, yeah, bath water and stuff. I could
Been to
sponsor
Japan?
you like a child.
These like used panties and vending machines in Japan. Like I'm sure they could sell Frankie's
people even
juices in
know
a vending
this?
machine.
Do you know what? If anyone wants to buy my panties, just hit me up. I'm serious. I'm trying to save for a house. I will do anything.
What would be the starting bid?
Yeah.
I'll actually sell my underwear
The gold coin donation.
for let's say $100. So if someone wants it, hit me up.
What's worse is you're putting a value
Is that-
on it. Like,
Is that after or before you cycle?
Ooh.
That's surely got to add some value.
Well, we can have add-ons, right? So we can have the standard like day-to-day. Yeah, we can. I'll take add-ons for an extra like 50 cents, like guacamole, except it's from my vagina.
stop it. Stop.
Seal it in for flavour.
No.
Mr. Witness, do we
Mr.
have any
Witness,
more?
yeah, there's some more.
Do we have
Can
any
you
more
make this
Norton
stop,
times?
please?
The main reason why we exist.
Oh dear. Okay, so
Pick and mix. Pick and mix is amazing.
Gooch Juice Galore on the 1905, 164 beats and 282 watts on the power meter.
That's
then-
cruising.
And then our last one was the Granny Gear Hypothesis on a 1905 as well, 40k ride, 269 watts on the power meter, 122 BPMs, quite low there actually.
Right.
Cruising.
Easy.
Yeah,
Excellent.
very nice.
Very good.
Frankie?
Well, women. So we have in the 20-minute bracket, we've got the Passion Fruit Oxy Shred. So she was on recently, and she's done a PB this time again.
Good work. Good work.
So last week she did a 21. Sorry, not last week. 2 weeks ago she did 21:15, and this week she's absolutely smashed it and done a 20:37. So that's a 3% increase from her PB. So she had 181 BPM and 231 watts
Working.
of power. But I reckon she can get into the sub 20 bracket.
Yeah,
I
she's got
reckon.
it in her.
I think so. Get a bit of wind in there, like on the bike. Sorry. You know what? Before I incriminate myself, I quit. Anyway,
I had that before. It didn't work.
I did. You wouldn't let me leave.
No.
Then we have the Schmoopy Sinclair, who did a 20:56 on a 62-kilometre ride. Third, we have Aggressively Undercooked, who's been coming on the podcast quite a lot recently. Did a 21.25. Their PB is 16.03, so they were just chilling. I mean, their heart rate was 155 BPM, so as I said, chilling. Breast End did a 21.57 on a 16-kilometre ride. Does she live at the bottom?
Must be targeted.
She must be literally live on
5 up
Summer.
and 5 down is 11, 5 and a
I
half.
know.
Yeah, so yeah, somewhere there.
Crazy.
Say 5 plus 5 is 11.
5 point something. It's a little bit more than 5.
Same, but different.
That's why he's an electrician.
Yeah.
Last but not least.
Last, we have Kaiser Wilhelm, who did a 21.57 on an 83k ride. Their PB is 22.15, and that was a PB. Wait,
Oh, yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Congrats, well done.
It was 22.15.
Oh, with a heart rate of 161. So that tells me that they're either old or...
What? Hey. Jesus Christ. You're making assumptions.
Savage.
I
Now,
know.
before Cashy goes, why did you pick the handpick?
Good question. I just know the name. That's why I picked it.
This morning?
I did have coffee there this morning. Yeah. I think it'd be cool if we can get him on the podcast at some point.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
a him.
So I wanted. Oh shit! I wanted to
name's
give
George.
This, I
George
wanted to
the
give this
Barnacle.
person a
You're the guy.
nickname. So who's revealing him?
I'll reveal him. George the Barnacle we've got with a 17.35. Not far off his PB. 42k ride. He's just chilling.
What's this today?
No power, no heart rate. Really? I thought
I thought he would be absolutely cashed up.
I thought a man of his stature
Spend all
would
his
have
money
power
on
and heart
underwear.
rate.
Oh God! Well, actually, for the listeners, we can have give you a little bit of like what's the word when
Context.
you give, not context? You know, like a.
You look
here's-
like you're feeding the chickens, mate. What's going on?
I'm not. You know when you give. Oh fuck the word! Oh my God! Why am I so dumb?
Palm to face. Don't know.
Background?
Don't know what goes on in that head.
Not like on that caliber.
Reveal.
No, like you're giving them hints.
feel like I'm
Oh my
picturing
God, I can't believe it.
charades.
Anyway, hints for the listeners. So this person runs Penny Hospitality, has helped open Ride Contour, and was
Yes.
also once track cyclist. So I feel like anyone can guess that now.
Down to Ride Contour and get a coffee and support them.
Yep.
Yeah, not a bad coffee.
Yes.
I like it. All right. What do we got, Mr. Wang? What do we got for the recap on the week?
Well, we've got a big week coming up by the looks of it here. So Sunday MCC. So Sunday the 19th, we've got the Brian Doakey Memorial Handicap at Osborne Loop. Then we've got the Adelaide Mountain Bike Club on Saturday the 18th of March. Race 4 of the XCM at O'Halloran Hill. NCC, Tuesday the 14th of March, last of the Tuesday night crits. I'll be out there doing my bit, helping him on
You
the
won't be
corner
a
marshal
racist.
again.
Yeah. If I crashed there, I don't have any faith that you're going to assist.
I'll expect another
Just be
pizza. Thanks, Cashy.
pizza in his face.
I'm actually going to race this Tuesday.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to
Why not?
throw abuse at both of you.
the break again.
Oh, yeah, in the break, in the A grade.
We have no NCC Thursday the 16th of March, women's and juniors crits. I'll also be volunteering there.
I'll be in the break there.
And then we've got Southern Coast Cycling Monday the 13th, which is tomorrow. Adelaide Cup on
they got-
Wheels and the Interclub Track Champs
They
at
got lots
Edwardstown.
on this week.
I was down there the other day chucking some laps, waiting for the Woom Broom until he stood me up. And then Southern Coast Cycling again on Wednesday the 15th of March is the Wednesday night training at Edwardstown. And Southern Coast again on Friday the 17th of March, night racing at Edwardstown. We are missing one there. Wednesday, we have the final round of the Vets
I didn't want to mention
crits.
it.
Why not?
What
What is
fucking Hubbards taking over?
Oh no.
It was a rocket
It was a
launch
rocket
on
train the
Wednesday
other night.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You
It
should
was
get on the
very
rocket
hard
train.
to follow.
Nah.
Me, Kashi, the real Chamoy,
Jesus.
tore them all a new one.
Oh.
I only hit like 14.05 for one of the sprints. It wasn't.
I hit that when I got a cramp. Just one pedal stroke.
Final round, and we're coming seconds in the team, and we've got the real Chamoy second in the individual, and myself
The bloke
third.
just doesn't ride for a month and then comes out and it's gone. Yeah, off the front. Anyway, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and all creatures in between, if you have enjoyed yourselves, please give us a follow through your favourite podcast app. If you don't have a podcast app because you're from 1903 like the Wang here, you can also access all our episodes through YouTube. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon.
What the
Don't
fuck
forget
was
to
that?
tell all your friends, families, and foes.
We are also all over socials, so this is where you give you the important updates, info, and let you know when new episodes are out, along with other podcast news and information. And if you want to support the podcast, or if you want to buy my panties,
Support us so we can get
head to
Thank you,
our Buy Me a
Serendipitous.
Coffee page.
with
If
guacamole.
you donate, we will give you a shout out on the podcast next week.
I was waiting for that one. So we'd love your feedback and abuse and constructive criticism. So please hit us up and let's have a chat through our Facebook or Instagram page, or shoot us through an email at radelaidesummit@gmail.com.
And with that, I'm going to leave you guys with this here. What kind of bikes do girls ride?
Oh, God.
A menstrual cycle.
How did I not even think about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Get out.
Okay.
Thanks,
And
Kate.
also on that, well, not on that, sorry. Thank you to Suburban Yahoo
Yeah,
and
thank you,
Sergeant
guys.
Weenus.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you for
babes.
coming along and, joining us with that bullshit.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
See you
man.
on the summit.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Bye.